We are Nacho and Sabrina, and in this video called Designless Milk, we're going to analyze the milk packaging market, its flaws, and how to exploit the opportunity for better exposition and perception of the product, and reduce costs, leveraging physical packaging design innovation.
Consumers don't care about you at all. They just don't care. Part of the reason is they got way more choices than they used to and way less time. And in a world where we have too many choices and too little time, the obvious thing to do is just ignore stuff. And my parable here is you're driving down the road and you see a cow and you keep driving. Because you've seen cows before. Cows are invisible. Cows are boring. Who's going to stop and pull over and say, oh, look, a cow? Nobody. But if the cow was purple, isn't that a great special effect? I could do that again if you wanted. If the cow was purple, you'd notice it for a while. I mean, if all cows are purple, then you get bored with those too. What marketers used to do is make average products for average people. That's what mass marketing is. The thing that's going to decide what gets talked about, what gets done, what gets changed, what gets purchased, what gets built is it remarkable? And remarkable is a really cool word because we think it just means neat. But it also means worth making a remark about. And that is the essence of
To do our market research, we went to 2 supermarkets to check the milk aisles, analyze which trends are the monopoly and how to be noticeable in terms of packaging. We analyzed colors, forms, and materials and came up with some charts that prove what is the trend and therefore what it takes to be remarkable. The first thing we notice is that almost every milk pack out there is made of carton because of how it's recycled and how it is cheap, with 6% for plastic and 2% for a much fancier for the consumer glass. Looking at colors, 81% has the predominance of white, while some are purple and only a 7% is red. This minority means these are the ones you notice at a glance when looking into the aisle. An opportunity for a new color that appeals to new feelings and is also very remarkable in the aisle is there. Although milk is almost every time drank in portions of a coffee and smaller, almost every package out there is more than 1 liter, which means it spends more time open, but also there are no different volume formats. A different pricing model and smaller packages opportunity can be spotted in this chart. So we have developed a vision according to this research. We want the vision of the milk packaging to be non-white, non-rectangular, and with less volume without compromising the perception of the user. It's going to be also built with glass. It's going to be more attractive and have less milk to increase the perception awareness and reduce costs.
We decided to analyze some new innovative packets in order to make notice of some good features of the new designs and also some bad features. For example, in these 2 images, we can analyze that they have a good manage on the neotency because of the big eyes on the right one, the smiles, and they gave the customer the perception of cute. For the right one, the material is glass, so that would be a good feature because it is reusable and it's eco-friendly, and that is a very important thing for these generations. The problem but with the both is the color because they still are white, same as the left side. In these 2 examples, what the new design is trying to do is work with a new innovative way of serving, but as it's milk, it is more difficult to change that, and they can be even more difficult to manage, most of all because when it's milk, People tend to already have an existing knowledge in their brains, and it is a complication. But they also make a good usage of the fonts and colors for distinction between milk types. So the red for whole milk and the green for the fat-free milk. For these ones, the colorful packets gave the buyer a lot of visual attraction, but the problem is that they have the same square structure as every packet, so they are not very new and innovative. In this case, there is a complication because of the color. As it is brown, it will be related with chocolate, so everyone will think that it's a chocolate milk instead of a normal one. But they have a new feature that is round shapes for the packet that works better for the brain of the customer for that the specific sensation of being brown is more friendly for the brains of the customer. Here, these two designs use glass, and the way they are presented is like the old times. They are going to create nostalgia and on old generations and also new generation because of their reusable future being more friendly with the environment. The problem is with these two are the colors. Again, they are white, so they are not very new. Here is a new design that has a new functionality. The packet changes the color depending on the status of the milk. So when it is more fresh, it is more white. But when it starts to get old, it turns orange. The concept is very generous with the customer because of the honesty of the product, but visually is not so good because at the time of purchase it's not so attractive for the brain of the customer. It is the most simplest packet of milk that is white and squared, so they will need to put a lot of effort on the promotion of this new design. So we came with the idea of this kind of new packet. It has a round shape, so it's more friendly for the brain of the customer. We decided to target two generations, the new ones and the old ones. That is why we decided to use glass as materials and choose the green color as it is eco-friendly for the brain. We also use the dimension of the packet properly as having those legs that are like an other, saving space but making it look with the same quantity of milk. We also think on maintaining the color distinction between milks. So red for the whole milk, purple for the skim milk, green for the 1% fat milk, yellow for the 2% fat milk, and blue for the light one. So our design also have this feature and we can use it for every type of milk.